Alright, time for the solutions for the what is required for congruence assignment. So in this first section, it gives you a figure and you have some sort of congruent requirements. And you say what's missing in order to get the congruence by side angle side or angle side angle or angle angle side, whatever is listed. On 1, you can add a congruence mark in the middle because of the reflexive property, and we're supposed to get side, angle, side. Well, right here we have an angle and we have a side. If we want side, angle, side, we need this side down here to be congruent to the one up there, because those are the sides that match. And so we need ST to be congruent to DT. And if we want angle, side, angle, here's an angle, here's the side, we need the next angle. And on the top triangle, it is that angle right there. So we need those two angles. That's angle TUS, congruent to angle TUD. And on 2, we already have a side and an angle on both of these triangles. We want to get angle, angle, side. Well, we already have the angle side part. We need another angle. So here's the angle. Here's the side. We need the previous angle. So the angle at C and at L need to be congruent. You can write it just like this. Angle C congruent to angle L. And on B, we want side, angle, side. Here's a side. Here's an angle. We need the next side to get side, angle, side. And the one that matches on the other one is right here, LJ. So that's the side CA. It needs to be congruent to the side LJ. And that brings us to the next one. We have a side and an angle, side and an angle. We want angle, side, angle. So angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. We need H and R to be congruent to each other. So it's angle H congruent to angle R. And on the next one, we want angle, angle, side. Here's an angle, here's a side. We need the previous angle, angle, side. We need the previous angle. So those are the angles T and J that need to be congruent. Congruent angle J. And that brings us to the next one. Anytime you have a short side, you can add a congruence mark, so I'll add one there in the middle. We need to get angle, side, angle. Well, here's a side in the middle, and then a side out here and a side out there. We need the angles between them, notice the A's between the S's, to be congruent. So that's that angle there and that angle there. And on this one, you have to make sure you write it using the 3 letters because there's multiple angles at that single point there. So that this bottom one would be QSD. And we need this corner here, that's going to be SQR. And then the next one we have side, side, side. We already have 2 of the sides, we need the third one to match on our 2 triangles. So that's the side, man, QD. That needs to be congruent to SR. And on 5, we have in the middle a side that's congruent to itself, so you can add a congruence mark, but that's a side and then angle, or side and angle on the other one. We need side, angle, side, so we'll need this side and this side to be congruent, because this side and this one in the middle will form the angle. So that's the side WV, that needs to be congruent to the side XK. And if we want angle, angle, side, we already have an angle and then a side. We need the previous angle, these outside angles, to be congruent. That's angle W congruent to angle K. Moving on to 6, we already have 2 angles matching on both of these. We want angle, angle, side. So this one actually has 2 answers because we already have 2 angles in a row, and there's 2 sides that are not between them that we could try to match up. Let's do DF congruent to JL, or you can do the other one, FE and LK congruent. Okay. On the next one we want angle, side, angle. Here are the 2 angles. We need the side between them on both triangles. That's the side DE. congruent to the side KJ. On 7, we have a side here, angle, angle. So we already have a side angle. On A, we need the next side. So side, angle, side. That's going to be MK. And on this one up here, it's going to be SU. So we need MK to be congruent to SU. On the next one, we still have a side angle. We need the other angle on the other side of the side. So here's the side, here's the side. We have one angle, we need the other one to complete the angle side. Angle aspect of this, that's angle L and angle T. On 8, so this one brings up vertical angles. Anytime you have two lines cross, the opposite sides are congruent to each other. They're called vertical angles. So I can add congruence marks there. So now we have a side and angle on both of our triangles. We want side angle side, so we need the next side, which is going to be here on this triangle and here on this other one. That's WV, needing to be congruent to VM. And if you want angle side angle, we already have an angle and a side. We need the other angle on the other end of the side to make sure the side's in between our two angles. And so that's going to be angle K congruent to the other angle over here, which is going to be U. And the 8's all done. Going on to 9, we can add congruent marks here in the middle. I'm going to use 2 because 1 has already been used here on the sides. But right now we have two sides on both triangles. If you want side angle side, you need to get the angle that's between the two sides. That is right down here and then right up there. Those angles, this time you have to use the 3 letters. You have to do X, Z, D, and Z, X, Y, which will draw those triangles for you. Draw those angles for you. So you can write those down as your names. Whoops, I messed up on this letter. That should be a D, because I'm talking about this one up here. And Z, X, Y. The next one, we need to get side, side, side. So really there's only one pair of sides that aren't marked yet. That's DX and ZY. Those need to be congruent. On 10, we already have a side and an angle on both of our triangles. We need to get side angle side. So side angle side, we need the next side on both of our triangles. That's going to be a WU congruent to, that's a U, ZX. And then we need to get angle angle side. We have an angle up here, angle down here to go along with the next one. So we'll get angle angle side, angle angle side on both our triangles. That's the angle at W and the angle at Z.